Well, this week was Kevin's birthday, and we went over to Kevin's birthday party at my grandson's house. And I wanted to share with you a garden tour of how much work he's done on this house that he purchased last summer. He hasn't been in it very long, and when he bought this house, it had no yard, no grass. All the flower beds were dead. All he had was a bunch of large trees that are safety hazards, and he is going to have to cut them down because they are that bad. Well, let's start seeing what he put in recently. This was a new plant they just recently bought. Isn't it beautiful? I love the beautiful leaves, the red, even the stem is red. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful plant. Like I said, they just bought it, and it is just a beautiful plant. I can't wait to see how big it's going to get and how it's going to do in the flower bed. But isn't it beautiful? Here's a nice close-up of the root system and the stems, and see how beautiful they are. I was really impressed with all the beautiful plants they have managed to find and to put in these flower beds in such a short amount of time. When he bought this place, it was a mess, and he has really done a lot of work. Look at how beautiful these flower beds are already starting to look. Now, we just got over having about I don't know, maybe like almost 10, 11 days at 110-degree weather. So some of his plants did die and some of them did go into shock. But it now is starting to come back a little, and I told him don't pull anything out. Even though it may look dead, the roots still could be alive in there and come back. I always give him a chance to bounce back if it's possible. Plants are expensive, but he is doing a beautiful job. He had been collecting all these pavers for a year or two before he bought a house because he knew he wanted to have a big yard with lots of beautiful flower beds. So he was always planning before he even bought a place. And he has put in so much work. His neighbors were amazed and what a short amount of time and what he's managed to do. From a yard that was full of weeds that I never even got a picture of that. And he took them all out and started instantaneously building flower beds. And now he is putting his grass in. But look at all the beautiful plants that he has already planted. How much work and time he's already put in his garden. It is going to be a showplace by next year, I'm sure. He's going to come over this coming month and dig up a couple of my plants and take over to his. I can't wait to see what improvements that looks like. I was amazed at how much work he has been able to get accomplished in such a short amount of time. Isn't this yard looking beautiful? Look at all of it. He's trying to get plants that have flowers on them because he likes a lot of color like Grandma. And he loves sharing everything with us. He even got this cute little hummingbird for his garden to even give more color. He is just so good at design and figuring out what he wants to do in his yard. That is the reason why he bought this home, because it had a huge front yard, for he could landscape and make it a wonderful place for people to come and sit down and visit. He loves to entertain, and you need a house and a yard big enough to entertain with. And he loves his big yard, and he's done a wonderful job getting it cleaned up and planted. I am amazed at what he's been able to do in such a short amount of time in so many beautiful colors. Look at this one. He has got one of every color of this plant. Some of them are real dark, some are red, and this one is like a pale pink with a little darker pink. So pretty. That'll probably be double or triple the size by next year. Now here's another one, same plant, just a different color. And these plants get quite large when they get full growth. So I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. And as you can see, he's put a lot of time and effort into this. He has now put gravel around his fire pit area, as you can also see. And look how beautiful everything's looking. He's also just put a lawn in. Of course, it's got a lot of weeds, but I'm sure he's going to get them out in no time. And this was something I just couldn't believe that he wanted to do as soon as he got this house. He wanted a dry riverbed. And he had been collecting these rocks probably a year before he even bought a house. That's how much he knew in his mind what he wanted. He wanted a big yard to be able to do this with. He still has a few more loads of rocks to get to finish it off, but he has done all this since last summer. It's only been a few months, along with putting a sprinkler system in. And he is just on fire getting this place cleaned up. I'm sure his neighbors are totally amazed that he could do this most of the time by himself. And he has a very hard job to begin with too. And look at how good his grass is looking. He has put a lot of time in this. He first put a sprinkler system in, as you can see, across the whole front lawn to make sure everything gets watered, because we do get very hot summers here. And I thought I would share what the family all look like. Here are some of my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and Becky's mom and dad, and I was so happy to see my family together. Some great pictures. Here's Becky, Ricky, and Becky's parents and Kevin. Don't they make a wonderful family? And this is a wonderful home, and they've worked hard to get it looking great. I hope you enjoyed the garden tour today and seeing some pictures of my huge family, and this is not all. We'll probably have some more family time next week, and I hope you enjoy it. Love you all. Bye-bye for now.